Okay, so this is my first ever kind of narration over a race. I'm excited to see how this goes. Very open to feedback. So this is the women's P1234 in Shea Center. It's a really standard four corner crit, same place where the early birds are, which are like preseason practice races. The field was 12 people, really fun, kind of dynamic. We had 3 from my team from Super Sprinkles, then we had 3 from Alto Velo, 3 from Revolution, and then a few independent riders. And I'll kind of point them out as we ride. The woman right in front of my camera in the kind of purple blue kit is riding for Monarch, and then the woman at the very front is riding for Cycle Sport, and they're both independent today. I'm speeding through this because the bidding is because the bidding was kind of slow, but things start to pick up already on, I think this was a second or third lap at mile 1. So we're going into this like second last corner, and I'm third wheel, and then out of the right corner of my eye, I see Shannon from Cycle Sport attacking, and you can see my power kind of spiking as I kind of chase to catch her, and then I just settle right behind her and kind of hold her wheel, making sure that if there is a breakaway, that I'm in it. You can see my power kind of going way down as we come into the turn. We're still kind of working until right about where this kind of straightens out, and then we kind of realize there's no breakaway, so we're going to kind of calm back down. The next few laps, kind of tepid. Altavella takes a big pull. I just hold her wheel. She goes for pretty much the full lap, which I was really surprised by, but I was very happy just to sit on her wheel. So again, attack right on the inside, this time by the Revolution team. I hit my 5-second power PR chasing her down. It was definitely a really strong attack, and it got the field. We ended up keeping this the whole lap, and this was the deciding moment of the race. It was a shock for sure, because this is, as you can tell at the top, like only 2.6 miles into the race. But the people who were in that breakaway ended up making it very strategic. So the Revolution girl had her 2 teammates in the peloton. I had my 2 teammates from Sprinkles in there. So pretty much 4 of the riders in the peloton were not going to do any work to chase us down. So it was the Revolution girl, it was myself, and then also the women from the Monarch team. So from this point forward, we just rotate pulls and keep a steady pace and try to, increase the gap. After a few laps, the Revolution woman wasn't really taking pulls. She took 1 pull and then kind of blew up her legs and fell back. And then it was just the Monarch girl and I to the end. We kind of just keep at this pace for the next, 45 minutes or so, growing the gap. And then every time we lap around, they gave us a new kind of gap time. So it was like 20 seconds, 25, and then at some point, it ends up growing to 70 seconds, and you're going to see us lap the full field. But I wanted to show this part of the race, mostly just to watch my heart rate go up. So there, I just hit 200 beats. It's like oscillating between, 170, but then kind of creeps up to 180, 190, and 200 again. And I was not having a good day. I don't do well in the heat. Here you see 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It felt like it the weekend before that in Patterson Pass. The heat also really got to me. So a big to-do on my end is just a lot of heat training. We don't get too much of that in San Francisco. It's always cloudy, and I always train early. So here we are. We kind of just keep going. My poor heart, it's back up to 200 beats per minute. We might cross it at some point. And Monarch and I are just trading pulls, keep growing the time, and keep hammering. During these laps, I started kind of waving down my team and saying, "Hey, get me water. Can you spray me down with it?" I was making this like weird hand motion. I think I freaked them out. And then eventually, they understand the signal. And here we have a clip of my teammate kind of tossing a full bottle of water. I'm gonna play it again just so you can see it slow-mo. That ended up hitting me perfectly in the chest and doing the trick. It also started to cool down a little bit. Like you can see, it went down from 90 to 88 as we were catching the back of the peloton. At this point, we did have another 5 miles or so left of the race, but we slowed it way down. Here we're going around like 18 miles an hour. Monica and I are just kind of chatting, and it doesn't look like the peloton is, trying to race or catch us at all. It looks like they've almost like given up since we were out of sight. Cool. Well, I hope this makes crits feel less scary. As you can tell, women's fields are a lot smaller than the guys' fields. So if you're thinking about racing a crit and you're worried about, being all cluttered up in a peloton, this is what the ride looks like. You're not too close together. There's plenty of space. Pick a crit that's like very welcoming for corners. And unfortunately, my GoPro died before the end, but I did come in first, and it was a great day for a bike ride. But honestly, that bottle saved my life. It would have been a really, really painful way to end had I not cooled down a bit.